This is True Crime Undercover, and I'm your host, A-Train, and I want to introduce to you the star of the show, the street rat, Super E.
What's up, everybody? And on the show today, we have D-Mania.
D-Mania, how are you today?
Yes, sir. I'm doing very well. How are you two?
We're doing really Fine. Good. Do you got any words of wisdom for us today, D-Mania?
I do. I have a few. I have a few that popped into my mind this morning.
Okay.
To start off the show, I just wanted to point out that it is illegal to own only one guinea pig in Switzerland. A few other interesting points. Platypuses sweat milk. Okay. Bananas glow under blue light and black lights.
Okay.
And to top it all off, a woman once in the United Kingdom called the police when her ice cream didn't have enough sprinkles. You're welcome.
Okay, I got a question. So, does the banana only show up on the blue light after it's been inserted into Super's anus?
Well, if it's on the golf course, then yes.
Can we edit this part?
No. Okay. No. It's staying in.
All right.
Okay,
you're speechless, Super E.
No, I didn't know if I was going to talk about Coco or chin dildos or anything like that. But go ahead.
Inside
are we
joke.
Ready to continue?
Easy with the latter.
Super E.
Yes.
First of all, D-Mania, thank you for those words of wisdom. I think they're all things that we should live by. Okay, why do you think they can only own one guinea pig in Switzerland? So it doesn't get lonely?
You know, I don't know. As I did my research, that's just the only information on that I could find.
You didn't delve into it any further?
I did not, no. I will continue that investigation further.
Okay, get back with us on that, because I really want to know.
Try.
Okay. Thanks, D-Mania.
You're welcome.
Super E, have you prepared an entertaining tale?
I nodded off for a minute. What's happening?
Hey, now you know how we feel.
Okay.
So tell us a tale, Super E.
All right, I'll try to make this as quick as possible.
Please.
Since D-Mania has to get up to the parade today for truckers, I'm going to talk about a hooker on the street. Her name was Lietta, and she kept popping up after I first arrested her at very inopportune times. But I will talk about how I first met Lietta.
Okay.
Is working the hot dog stand, was late at night, and just trying to get some hookers, because you're supposed to buy so many drug buys and so many prostitution arrests for called stats to show that you were doing something.
Right.
So I see this chick walking, I pick her up. Her name's Lietta, and she agrees to perform, blowjob on me for $30. But then I remembered I was also getting ready to check a complaint on a house south of Washington Street, or the hot dog stand, where the neighborhood people were saying, hey, some dudes from Detroit have moved into this house, and they're selling all kinds of crack out of the house. They're boning the fat hillbilly chicks. And they say that, and when we tell them we're going to call the police, they said, please come in this house. We're going to shoot them up.
Okay.
With our automatic weapons.
Okay, that sounds serious, but... Okay.
Very serious.
What were they doing with the hillbilly chicks?
Oh, banging the shit out of them.
Okay.
That's what the callers told us.
All right. Thank you.
They called them skanks, but I'll be more detailed.
Okay.
So anyways, I thought to myself, hey, kill two birds with one stone. I asked this hooker, Lietta, I said, hey, do you like crack? She goes, I love crack. That's why I'm giving you head, so I can get crack. I said, look, you want to go buy some crack at a place where I know they're selling it? She goes, 10-4. So I zip down to the house, knock on the door with Lietta standing there. And this was the perfect ruse. And some hillbilly chick with one eye that was looking down, the other eye is looking up, answers the door. And she goes, what do you want? I said, my girl here wants to get some crack. She heard she can get crack here. The chick didn't even think twice about it. Didn't question us or nothing. She immediately goes, how much money I got? $30. She hands me some crack. And I was like, thank you very much. We go to the car. The poor hooker's all excited. She's getting her crack pipe out, getting ready to light it up. And she goes, oh, can I have a piece of crack? And I said, sure, but let me show you something else. She goes, what's that? I go, this. And she saw a badge. And, of course, she has a heart attack and tries to throw the crack pipe out the window, except she forgot she didn't roll it down. And I said, now, listen, since you helped me buy crack from this house, that's a very dangerous crack house, you get a get-out-of-jail-free card this one time for helping me.
Man.
And I said, I don't want to see you on the street again, Lietta. She goes, no problem, Detective Superi. Thank you so much. Out the door she goes. I went back again to say, hey, I want to get some crack for my girl. You met her. They're like, cool, man. They sell me some more crack. We got enough for a search warrant. And the sergeant at the time, H.M. remembers him. He was kind of big, heavy-set guy, looked like Deputy Dog and talked real slow, like, hey, Super E, did you get a warrant for that house with the guys from Detroit? And I said, yes. They say they're going to shoot us up and kick our ass. And I'm like, yeah, we got it. I got the SWAT team on it. And so, but the sergeant goes, yeah, they got a lot of guns, I heard. So, anyways, the SWAT team, they hit the house. And if anybody's been in a house when the SWAT team hits it, it's like an immediate explosion of chaos. And they move so fast you have no idea what's going on. And before you know it, you're handcuffed, tossed on the floor, laying on your stomach.
Yep.
SWAT team hits that house with the guys from Detroit. Boom, they're all on the ground. They go upstairs. They find one of the Detroit guys banging one of the hillbilly skanks. They just snatch. He's a big dude. Somehow they snatch him up, cuff him, throw him on his stomach. He's naked. Cuff the girl. She's naked. Throw her down on her stomach. But when I got up there, the poor guy from Detroit that was having sex with the hillbilly skank, he couldn't lay on his stomach because he still had a wildly turgid erection. He said he couldn't roll over. But then the sergeant walks up to the guy and goes, so are you the Detroit pussy that's going to shoot us up and kick our ass, motherfucker? And he was like, no, sir, I am not. Please roll me on my back. Okay, will do. So Lietta, I was like, man, I was telling everybody, hey, here's how I got into this house. I used what you call an unwitting informant.
Yeah.
Lietta. And they're like, oh, that's great. Well, 6 or 7 months go by. I'm driving down the street. Who do I see? Lietta. I pick her up. At first, I didn't know. She looked familiar, but I couldn't figure out who she was. And she looked at me. She couldn't figure out who I was. So there's all this back and forth as I was driving. She's trying to figure out who I was. Finally, after we drove about 3 miles, we're right in the downtown section where all the professional buildings are. And it's about 5 o'clock when everybody's getting off work on a Friday.
Okay.
So we're sitting in a parking lot full of cars of like lawyers and those kind of, snooty people. And she agrees to, perform sex for money. And then I recognize her. I go, Lietta, it's me. When I showed her my badge, I said, you're under arrest for prostitution. I told you not to be doing this. She tries to bail out of the car. And I bail out, and I'm chasing her around the undercover car. Finally, I chase her around, and I get her at the trunk. And I push her stomach onto the trunk. And so her hip and her stomach are on the trunk. And then she keeps trying to push her hands off the trunk and push me away so I can't cuff her.
Okay.
And I'm hoping my backup gets there. So when she was trying to push me off, I was leaning on her, and I would push her back in with my hips. So as she was pushing off, I was pushing her with my hip. And then she starts yelling, "Quit trying to butt fuck me." I said, "I'm not trying to butt fuck you." I said, "Give me your hands. Quit trying to fight and push off the car." And so she goes, "I'm not going to jail." So she keeps pushing off. I keep pushing her back in with the thrusting motion and trying to hold her hand so she can't turn around and claw my eyes out. Well, people start coming outside because she's screaming so loud, "He's trying to butt fuck me." And I said, "No, I'm not." Finally, these guys in suit and tie come out. They go, "What's going on here?" I said, I'm a policeman. I'm trying to arrest her for prostitution." She goes, "No, he's not. He's trying to butt fuck me." I go, "No, I'm not." And these guys in the ties go, "Well, it looks a lot like you're trying to butt fuck her." And I said, "I'm not trying to butt fuck her. Won't you come over and give me a hand?" "Oh, we can't do that." I said, "So you can heckle me as a butt fucker, but you can't assist me." "No, we can't do that." Luckily, Robin or Roxy, she come flying up and helped me put Lietta in cuffs. And now I'm mad at her. I said, "Lietta, you're definitely going to jail. There's going to be no breaks like last time." So she goes off to jail, and I forget about Lietta. Well, about another 8 months go by, and we're mostly focusing on narcotics as one big narcotics group now. This is what's called core narcotics.
Right.
And we were knocking them dead, locking up the guys, terrorizing the neighborhoods. Well, I guess our supervisors have been watching one too many episodes of Miami Vice, and they wanted us to be doing deals where Russians all pulled up in giant SUVs with suitcases and guns and stuff. And so they decided to call one of the alphabet government drug agencies down.
No.
And they're nice guys, but I've never really thought, man, those guys are fantastic. Yeah. They're nice guys.
Yeah.
And so these guys come down. They're supposed to be the top of the top.
Right.
They come down and talk to us, and they go, "Hey, guys, do you ever do jump outs?" A jump out is where a bunch of guys come screaming up on a bunch of dope dealers standing on the street corner and all jump out of the car with guns in their hands, screaming conflicting orders, all ending in motherfucker. What did
the street dealers call us when we did that?
They called us the jump out boys.
That's right.
And I remember a supervisor wanted me to do that a couple of years earlier. I said, "No, if you want me to go walking in that crack houses, I'm not jumping out of a car so these guys can remember me."
Yeah.
And two, dope dealers standing on the corner, a bunch of them standing around. A jump out operation closely resembles a drive-by. And of course they're going to be scared and run off. And I was going to do a case that was going to be, suppressed in court. And I just thought it was stupid.
It is.
So they said, "Hey, do you guys do jump outs?" I'm like, "No." Oh, can we do one? I said, "All right." So we all do that. I tried to disguise myself, but I guess I didn't do a good job of it. So it was like at 10th and Parker, a bunch of dope dealers mingling around there about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It was summertime, so it was still some daylight. Well, these guys, the Fed guys, they go screaming up in these undercover cars, and we're following behind them. And they come screeching, sliding up on these guys. They're all freaked out, and they're all running, and they snatched up a few of them, cuffed them, and locked them up. I go, "This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen."
So you're telling me, and I'm just going to say it, the DEA guys wanted to do jump outs.
Yes, and to me, that's the bottom of the barrel.
That is the bottom of the barrel.
So, anyways, this is like at 10th and Parker. And what I didn't realize, because it's now, it's a shitty area where drugs and hookers, proliferate. What I didn't realize, that right across the street where we jumped these sons of bitches was my dentist's office. He had been there since 1967, so he had been there before it all went to hell.
Right.
And so I didn't even think about it. They locked all the guys up. I said, "Don't put my name on any of this stupid shit." So the next day, about 11 a.m., I got to go get my teeth cleaned. And I'm going to 10th Parker. It's 11 a.m. I look up and I see about 10 or 12 guys standing on the corner selling dope. And I said, holy shit, this is the same place where they railroaded those fuckers last night. So they see me and they do the holy shit. And they grab their pearls and run into the house and hide behind the curtains and are peeking out the window. And I park my car and I look over. I go, I'm going to the dentist. I'm not fucking, because they recognize my golden Lumina. I said, I'm not fucking with you guys. So I go into the dentist's office and I'm sitting there waiting. So anyway, here comes Lietta. She comes into the dentist office and goes, hey, Super-E, all the dope boys across the street are worried that you're here to fuck with them again. I said, no, Lietta, I'm getting my teeth cleaned. I'm at the dentist's office. No, you sure this isn't some super secret drug investigation on them? I go, no, I'm reading my People magazine, waiting to go and get my teeth cleaned. So you can tell them little pansies to quit wringing their hands. I'm not here to mess with them. So she walks back over the street and I could hear her saying, he's getting his teeth cleaned. So now they call me back. I'm sitting in the dentist chair and the hygienist, spraying that thing in her mouth and sticking the sucker thing in. All of a sudden the receptionist lady goes, hey, Super-E, there's some woman here that says she needs to talk to you. I'm sitting there in the chair and Lietta, hey, yeah, the dope boys, they're calling bullshit on you getting your teeth cleaned. They think you're here to fuck with them. I go, really? Am I this deep undercover that I'm going to fuck with them as I'm getting my teeth cleaned with a giant sucky thing in my mouth? She goes, I guess not. So she walks back over. I could hear her yell now, no, he's actually getting his teeth cleaned. And the what do you call them, hygienist, she goes, what is going on? I said, it's an extremely long story, but it involves the DEA and some really stupid shit. So I finally get my teeth cleaned. I walked back outside and I could see the curtains open up and they all look at me. Then the curtains close. I said, I can see you looking at me. I said, I'm getting in my car and I'm going home. Bye. Quit being such babies. So I leave and I don't know what happened after that. But then fast forward another 8 months.
Okay.
And remember when I went up to the dope house where the white dude was renting his house to dope dealers? I can't remember what his name was. Willie. Remember that one? A-Train?
Not off the top of my head, I don't.
Well, the guy, he told me to go in there and talk to a dope dealer named Red. I walk in. Oh. I didn't know he had like about 10 dope dealers. So I just start talking to another guy who didn't expect me to come in, and he pulled a gun on me and was holding it in my face.
I remember now. Yes.
Okay. Well, when they thought Willie was an informant, because the next day, one of the smaller district units did a search warrant on the house, they automatically thought Willie ratted him out. So they shot him dead in the chest.
Yeah.
But Willie survived, but he wouldn't tell who shot him. Well, they got the brilliant idea, hey, Red moved up to 10th Street where he's selling dope now. He doesn't know that you're the police. Won't you call him up, because I had his number, and try to buy dope off? So I call him up, and he goes, yeah, I moved to 10th Street after them fuckers shot Willie, so that it was too hot down there. Come on up here to 10th Street. I'm going up to 10th Street. Red sees me. I honk my horn. Red sees me and comes outside and gives me the, hold on a minute. He goes, I got to get the dope. I look up. Who's walking down the street? Lietta.
Oh, God.
I'm like, son of a bitch. She walks in my car and goes, hey, Detective Super-E, you ain't about to be fucking with old Red there, are you? I said, no, Lietta. And I said, you better get your fucking ass out of here before you piss me off. And what does she do? She walks right up to his front door as he's walking out and points to me. Oh. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. And Red goes back into the house, calls me on the phone and goes, hey, Ray, my code name. Yeah, I'm not. I was just joking about selling dope. No. I'm a student. I'm doing very good. And I hope to pass the bar exam and become a lawyer. I said, shut up. And so what we did was we got one of the old informants, the old school informant who was like real old. A-Train remembers. I remember he walked with a cane and had an odor about him. They gave him a nickname, Stinky.
Yes.
Well, he goes up and buys the next day. I get a search warrant for the place. And we hit the house. Lietta's in there. But as we hit the house, Red jumps out of a window and starts running down 10th Street. I tried to give chase, but I had pulled my hamstring the day before playing flag football. And I said, oh man, he's going to get away. Red's running with the dope in one hand, trying to hold his pants up in the other hand.
Yeah.
Well, he loses control. He loses the grip on his pants. His pants slide down by his ankles, and it launched him straight up in the air, and he landed on his head. Was unconscious with the dope in his hand. So I get down there, and we pick him up and walk him back. We had called an ambulance, and I said, Lietta, your ass is now going to jail for interfering, blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
And then the sad thing is, I think she ended up getting murdered.
Oh.
After this. Murdered or OD'd. But that was one of the few times where I got called out in the middle of a buy. But he's a policeman.
And it's all the DEA and Lietta's fault.
Yes, even though I do like a lot of the guys in the DEA. We're just joshing.
I do too. I'm just kidding. They
don't come after us.
No.
Big Brother 1984. So that's the end of my tell.
That was a good one. It was It was a little involved, but it was good.
Yeah, but there was a lot of layers to peel on that onion of narcotic investigation history.
And it all centered around Lietta.
Lietta, exactly.
Hey, Train.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just to break some of this down real quick.
Uh-huh.
I do recall at the beginning of that story, Super E stated this was going to be a quick story. I made a 6-course breakfast during that story.
He did say, yeah.
Yeah, he did say
that. You know what? Maybe I could have made it more brief if I would have added fun facts that walruses in Sweden are not allowed to smoke a pipe. Did you know that?
And second of all, 2 more things.
Yes.
I believe Super E needs to go to church because he's got a potty mouth.
He does.
And C, I gave a warning.
And C, we need to break down further about this sucky thing that you said you had in your mouth at the dentist's office.
And he talked about it twice.
Yes, it's
very enamored about it.
It was a hose thing. It wasn't pink. It wasn't pink. It was made of plastic.
It's sometimes referred to as a hose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Oh God. Well. So,
and we're welcoming D-Mania's family members who are listening to the show.
Absolutely. So that'll bring us up to 5 listeners. I love it.
Give a shout out to my brother Trey. He's listening. He said he was listening to one of our episodes right now.
All right, Trey.
Hey, Trey. All right. Anything else, D-Mania? More words of wisdom or anything?
A mile is 5,280 feet long. And to top it all off, Massachusetts is the home of basketball and volleyball. So just anybody was wondering about that.
I think Dr. J played college basketball in Massachusetts.
I didn't know that.
I think he did, yes.
Interesting. Well, Massachusetts may have invented it, but Indiana is the one that rules it.
Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark. What's the other left-handed point guard's name that buries threes too?
Dennis Rodman.
No, Bridget Nielsen. No, I can't remember.
You took currently, like for the Pacers?
No, for the Indiana Fever.
Oh, I thought you were trying to get Tyrese Halliburton out of your mouth.
No. I haven't paid attention to the Pacers since Reggie Miller retired, but now that Caitlin Clark's come along for the Fever.
Well, yes.
I watched the highlights.
Yes. Okay, we're going to end this.
Yeah, let's end this.
All right. D-Mania, it's always great to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
See ya.